Can we hit some emails?
Yeah, actually, next one's a good one. It says, so I use the MACD at a 90-minute as a premier indicator, or a primary indicator. Premier or primary indicator. Same thing. It's all right. It says, but what are your feelings? How good is this indicator?
Well, I think that would be a question. I know you use it more than I use it. My uncle also uses it extensively, the MACD.
Yeah, I use it a lot.
Too, yeah. Yep. Why don't you guys cover it a little?
MACD I tend to use for two reasons. First and foremost, I like to use it as a momentum indicator. You know, let's say we look at euro dollar on a daily chart. And,
is that the one you want to look at?
Sure.
All right, euro dollar.
And we'll look at a MACD. And the MACD has really three different signals. As Adam described yesterday, it's comprised of moving averages. There's actually, without getting too technical, there's three different moving averages, as you can see there. There's three moving averages. One line is comprised of the difference of two of those moving averages, and the other line is actually just one moving average itself. So a little confusing. But we have two lines, and of course the blue is the faster of the two, right? You can see how the blue actually makes the moves above and below, just like we would see with two moving averages. So what we're looking for is when the blue crosses under the red, that's a bearish signal, of course, and when the blue crosses above the red, it's a bullish signal, just as we've learned with moving averages. The second thing we have as an indication on the MACD is this black line. It's the zero line. Breaks above the black line are, of course, bullish. Breaks below the black line are bearish. So now, the more aggressive approach is to, let's say we saw a break of the blue line under the red line. If we were above zero and we shorted that signal like we had a few days ago on euro dollar, where the blue line broke under the red, and are you on a daily chart, Adam?
I'm on the 90-minute. He was talking about the 90-minute, Scott.
Oh, okay. See.
He's using it as a primary indicator for entering into positions on this.
Okay. Yeah, it really doesn't matter. It works the same way regardless of the time frame.
Principles are the same with it. So.
But if we were to short on a break of the blue line under the red, while they were both still above zero, it would be considered more aggressive than if we took that same trade while the indicators were below zero. It's just a second confirmation. So the MACD can give you two confirming signals. The pink area, or the purple area, which is known as the histogram, those bars, that simply measures the distance between the blue and the red lines. As the histogram grows, we know that they're diverging, right? Moving average, convergence, and divergence. So as the histogram grows in size, they're diverging. A lot of times it's hard to tell just looking at it whether or not they're converging, diverging, or going same. So the histogram tells us that, and that's all that is. So don't let the histogram scare you. Certainly don't remove it, okay, because it's there to tell you what the difference is or what the divergence is with the blue and red lines. When I'm short in a trade, I obviously want that divergence growing, okay? So I want that histogram growing to the downside. If I'm long in a trade, I want those histogram bars growing on the upside, just like you would see with volume bars. It works the same way, really. So those are your three signals. We could get into using them in conjunction with prices if we want to, but the MACD itself, without bringing in prices, that's how it operates. There's three signals: the blue and the red line crossing above and below the zero, and making sure those histogram bars, which they're flat right now on the 90-minute, okay, making sure they're increasing in favor of your trade. So right now, what the flat histogram tells me, and the blue and the red lines falling flat, is that this pair's lost momentum. It still has a bearish trend on this chart, but it's lost momentum. So now's maybe not the time to be jumping on board.